streaming in. Hello, everybody. Good morning for Western Hemisphere folks, and good evening for European/Africa time zones. It's lovely to see you all. I'm gonna let us kind of roll in a little bit, let folks kind of pop in over the next few minutes or so.
Awesome. What's going on, everybody? I'm glad everyone's here for our next DAO Hall. It's gonna be an exciting one. You're part
Yes.
of a groundbreaking, earth-shattering coalition of social good doers. So you're all in the right place. So we're grateful that you're here.
Yes, indeed, Will. Happy to have you, man. And yeah, we're gonna do some intros as well as part of the first session here. Okay, so I'm gonna share screen, and then please do let me know if this is all coming through okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And I think in case things go haywire, our moderators have the ability to mute folks. So if I may ask Leia and Hans to help out with a couple things here, just for general housekeeping. If there's any hot mics, if you can mute, and also if anybody wants to participate, not via voice, but to prefer to chat, you can go to the live stream chat channel. That is the chatting section on the left nav bar. Actually, you know what? Let me live stream my whole screen so I can walk through Discord too for all the folks that might be totally new to this whole game. Okay, can you guys see my Discord screen here?
Yes, we can.
All right, cool. Okay, so basic navigation. If you guys have any questions or comments or whatever, feel free to pop into this live stream channel. It's under the chatting section. It's a text channel called live stream. If you need the link to the Miro board, it is over here on the announcements channel, and our agenda is live on Notion as well if you want to follow along there. It's also publicly available for anybody to add comments to, so you can also add in comments, and hopefully we don't get too many bad actors. We're going with like the very open approach to start off with, and kind of trusting the community. I imagine we'll have to lock things down eventually, but for now, I think this is a cool, tight-knit community, and we're all here to do good and help each other out, so I don't anticipate a bunch of people destroying things. So yeah, that's a quick TLDR. Feel free to post any questions, and also unmute yourself and free to speak up if you have any ideas, questions, contributions. Really want to keep this as an open format, open door policy. Try not to run this thing like a dictatorship. I am here to facilitate and to moderate and to empower all of you guys. So that's kind of the style of the DAO also want to take. What else is good for housekeeping? Oh, and yes, Leia and Hans as well. If you could, if I'm not paying attention to the Discord chat and folks have questions, feel free to just unmute and just call it out and say, hey, this person's got a hand up or question. If you could. No, all right. Okay, so it looks like we've got 21 people on a Miro board. Awesome, fantastic. Welcome everybody. While we're kind of hanging out and chilling, please do go ahead and add yourself for the attendees for today's session and get yourself on a public record for being an awesome participant and a co-owner and member of the DAO. Here's who we had last week participating on the Miro board. If you're on a mobile phone or tablet, I would recommend downloading the Miro app. It's free on the App Store or the Google Play Store. If you're on desktop, that's ideal. So yeah, if you check out Nouns, this is also a DAO, and what they've done is they've actually bootstrapped how to launch a DAO, and they open sourced all of their code and their information to basically say, hey, go ahead and use this model and proliferate it because we believe DAOs are awesome. And so this month we are actually ramping up to make sure to launch our initial NFT drop, our Genesis NFTs, to basically make all of you co-owners of the DAO. And I'll talk about that in more detail. But also to be able to create real governance. So you as co-owners will be able to write a proposal to change anything in an organization, whether it's modifying the white paper and our specifications, or if it's changing the reward system, how we manage the treasury. Everything is fair game, and we're basically going to be building our own democratic system in a decentralized, global, international way. So that's kind of the vision of what we're trying to build here together. So one big, huge thank you all for being here and being a part of this thing. I think it's really exciting and groundbreaking stuff. Like, this stuff has not been done ever before. So we're going to probably make a lot of mistakes, but we're going to learn a ton. And the goal is that the more we learn, we should build it and open source it and open knowledge it and just give it to the people and just make humanity awesome. Anyway, that's a quick overview. And as a recap for last week we did a few exercises in our Miro board. We looked at, why did we join? What are our motivations? What do we want to accomplish? What are some of the core values and principles that we have, as well as a retrospective. So to take away from some of the discussions here, I have made some updates to our white paper, and the white paper is also publicly available. Let me bring that up here. So the specific pages I've updated are our goals, and I've also created a core values and principles page. So when we talk about the big goals that we've got, I've kind of listed out the kind of internal company goals we set out for ourselves, which was basically, one, our mission is to make altruism provable profitable. And our role as a DAO is to uphold this proof of good protocol and the principles that govern it. We are aiming to have over 1,000 Web3 projects and 100 traditional NGOs adopt the proof of good protocol, which creates additional accountability for each of those organizations, but also rewards every single one of their users for the good that they do. We want to raise over 100 million US dollars and then donate them through approved charities that are basically our proof of good oracles on a protocol. Enable 1 million people in extreme poverty to gain a living wage, and then pass that opportunity to others. And then make sure that we also align with provable and measurable impact that corresponds with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And we'll get into a bit of those categories like later on in the Leyline proposal. So yeah, please do feel free to read through this doc, and would love to hear any feedback if there's modifications or changes or upgrades to make here. The second one is not yet fully filled out yet, but essentially what we're going to want to build out is kind of the core backbone for the white paper. And one of them is going to be, what are our core values and principles? So we'll be able to take some of the kind of voting and feedback we got in terms of how we want to focus on impact and empowerment, community-driven, trust and trustless systems, and incorporate that into the white paper. And this is going to be the ultimate source of truth. This is going to be what is the guiding light for how we operate. And then eventually we'll just be updating this thing via proposals and through community workshops and other exercises.
Hi guys, this is Jeff. One quick thing, Jeremy. What I thought was really unique about this white paper when we were discussing it is that this is going to be a living white paper. So it will always be up to date with the most recent information. So anytime that you're trying to explain this or share this information about the proof of good DAO with somebody, you can always refer to this. You don't never have to wonder whether or not it's up to date. And I think that it also gives our members a reason to go back and use it as an up-to-date living document, but also to check check it regularly. So I just thought that was really cool and wanted to point that out.
And for people who might be a little bit less versed, could you walk them through one more time how to get to this page, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So one thing to bookmark is our website is going to be kind of our main home. So if you go to proofofgood.io, our link to the white paper is like right there and right on a top nav. So whenever you need to refer back, this will be always prominent on the site. And really, that white paper is the absolute core. Like, everything is going to stem from that backbone and that source of truth. And one effort and one exercise we'll have to do is actually build out like the core constitution. So what is like the kind of immutable rules that define how we modify this thing? So that will be a big project to focus on in the near future. But yeah, so if you ever need to find this, go to proofofgood.io, bookmark it, flag it, put it on your link tree, share it to the whole world. This is going to be our home base, and then the white paper is linked to from there. Thanks for all the input, guys. I appreciate that. Okay, so there were also some big updates that we've been working on too, which was, our big focus for this month is getting our NFT drop in place. So our Genesis 500 NFTs we're going to be launching and minting for our community. This is going to be a free drop. We're not going to charge anything. This is really about kickstarting and empowering the community and the DAO co-owners. So we'll kind of read through this very quickly and try not to take up too much time here. But I'm sure there's probably going to be a ton of questions on this one too. So let's see if there's any that question popped up. All right. Okay, cool. So there's going to be a number of categories of NFTs that we mint that are essentially these membership NFTs for the DAOs and their reward systems and their utility across the metaverse and their profile pics. So our NFTs are going to be multi-purpose and have super value baked into them over time and will continue to grow. So the first set that we're going to be working on is our Genesis set, the POG packs. And so you can see the preview on our website of some of the variations that we're working on. And these are going to be a generative collection, so with different pets inside, color schemes, backgrounds, accessories, etc. These will continue to upgrade over time and potentially have new art styles. And then also when you log in to other metaverse worlds like Sandbox or Billionaire Zombies Club, we will morph the art style to adhere to that particular metaverse. You still use the same NFT, but it actually renders differently depending on what world you're going into in the metaverse. So these are the Genesis packs. We're going to have 500. If you own a Genesis pack, you are going to be a co-owner of the DAO. And that means a number of things. And like the privileges are kind of listed out here. So every month when we launch our governance token, we're calling it a POG token, a POGG token. We're going to be doing an airdrop to every Genesis pack owner. And the airdrop, the number of POG tokens you get, we're going to have different tiers of those value drops. So Genesis pack owners will have the highest tier of POG token drops. And what we're going to do is build an incentive where the more good points you level up your POG pack with, the more POG tokens you get. So we have to work on the formula for that to make it sustainable and fair. So we are looking for game designers and tokenomists to help us with that exercise, but that's the vision. In addition, on the governance side, owning a Genesis POG pack will also give you veto rights. So this is an important feature because we are still bootstrapping the DAO, and we have to make sure that in case anything crazy happens and some people take ownership of 60% of the NFTs and decide to create some crazy proposal where one wallet gets all the money, we need to be able to we need to be able to block that in case shit goes haywire. So basically the co-owners of the DAO will have the ability to veto a proposal that got passed through kind of illegitimate reasons, or it's something that's kind of counter to our core principles and values and constitution. We'll also create exclusive Discord titles and channels, so you'll also be able to log in to our Discord server with your NFT, and it'll identify you and then give you access to special stuff and make you super cool and all that good stuff. Eventually, we will probably introduce a POG token cost to writing proposals. We will not at the beginning because we're still getting started, but we'll probably create a discount for Genesis pack owners. Naturally, you can vote on proposals. We'll also bring you on to the DAO core team so you can actually listen in and be a part and engage in our Slack server, Notion, and Google Suite. Come to attend our internal meetings as well. And then in the future, we'll also be planning exclusive digital and live events through our partners and celebrities and other cool, interesting things. So that's the basic value proposition for the Genesis set. So hopefully you guys might know how to earn a Genesis pack. We actually have that in the Start Here guide. How it works. So on the How It Works channel, if you want to learn how to get your Genesis pack, all the instructions are right here. And I think all of you participating here, you're going to get your POAP drop for today. That's one way is get 5 DAO Hall POAPs, and then you will get onto the good list. And then on the good list, you'll be able to mint your or get your Genesis pack drop. So there are other tiers that we're going to be launching over time. One of them is going to be daily auctions, similar to how Nouns does their daily auctions as well. And you can see with Nouns the value that these things are going for. So on average, people are buying once per day an NFT for 55 Ethereum. That's about $200,000 or more on average. So that's kind of value we're aiming to shoot for with the NFTs that we're producing, at least at these like high tier Genesis pack and the elite packs, which I think we might want to update the naming here. We're not 100% on that. But philosophically, we also don't want this to just be an exclusively an NFT whales project, like only rich people can participate. That's not part of our ethos. One of the core values here is how do we give open access to everybody all over the world? And a large part of our community is actually international, and we really want to focus on areas that are underserved and not yet plugged into this digital economy. So what we're going to do is actually mint NFTs as well using good points. So you can basically have a zero barrier to entry financially. You just have to do good in the world, earn some good points, and you can get your POG packs. So we would do a daily auction using good points as well. Then there's going to be like a basic tier. So basically, in order for people to actually start earning good points, they'll need some kind of basic member NFT that will also drop. So that's another thing to work out. And then finally, we are going to be onboarding social impact orgs, charities, academic institutions as oracles onto the Proof of Good protocol. They will verify the good deeds and reward the good points to their communities and their users. So we will give them an NFT to say, yes, you are an official oracle. Here's your status. And then by holding this NFT in your wallet, we would do the monthly airdrop for oracles for proportional to the amount of good deeds that they verify on a protocol. And I have a proposition here, which is not fully settled yet, but theoretically, these oracles may have their own identity NFTs, whether it's like a Bored Ape or if it's a billionaire zombie or whatever. Potentially, we could enable those NFTs to also have a vote in a DAO. So at least they feel like they can engage and participate. So again, we really want to make sure there's open access to governance and not make this some exclusive thing where only rich people can participate. So please do take a look at this doc here. It is publicly available and linked on our agenda page. This will definitely evolve over time, and we are certainly looking for help to make sure we do this correctly. So if anyone wants to kind of be part of that crew, that committee or pod that's helping to define these things, really happy to get your participation. All right, any questions so far? Again, if you have questions, you can pop it into the live stream channel here. All right, great. Bette, you got a question. For the POG packs? So the POAP.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know. Paco? What's the verdict?
You only have to DM here in this, because you only have to DM me or Hans, and we will serve you immediately. You get your link and your nice POAP.
No, that wasn't the question. It's as we are having 2 different time slots for these town halls to accommodate European and Asian time zones, and those time zones usually cannot attend the other week because it's in the middle of the night and they cannot attend. The question was, and we discussed it before, if everybody will be able to earn 1 token every 2 weeks, so all regions have the chance to earn tokens at the same rate?
Actually, following that conversation for today's token, both dates from last week and this week appear. So we can try that. We can try to be sure that anybody attended either 1 week or the other, and both will be represented on the same token. Even though I imagine we will be covering slightly different topics every time.
Okay, great. Thanks for the answer. I think that makes it then fair for everybody, no matter where they live, and everybody has to only make it every other week if in doubt, but it's still great to attend all of these when you can. So yay, US time zone, go for it.
All right, thanks, guys. And yeah, we'll go through the POAP drop shortly or further into the meeting. We're already coming up on time, which is great. Okay, cool. So I'll put the focus back onto Miro, I think, just so we could do our quick introduction. So part of our weekly DAO halls will introduce and spotlight a few members of the team or members of the community, just so we could all kind of get to know each other and, really humanize ourselves. And obviously stop listening to me talk the whole time too. So I would love to introduce Will Gaines and Ash Cooper Kearns to the community. They're wonderful people. They've been in the NFT space for quite a while, are pretty well connected, and have a lot of experience in Web3 art and social impact across the board. So yeah, we connected, in 2021. And they are participating and helping us out. Will is actually going to be one of our community leads, helping to drive a lot of engagement, activity, spread the message, hold Twitter spaces and other events. He'll co-host some of these as well. In fact, co-hosting today. Ash is also working on a social impact org called Notes for Notes. And she's also working with a Web3 social impact project called Pass the Baton and a bunch of other amazing things. So I'd love to give them the floor and have them say hi. If you don't mind, maybe Ashley or Will, if you don't mind starting, give a bit of just a very brief intro, background, why you joined, and then what you're looking forward to.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for the kind introduction. And it's so funny. I was just in the back channels with Ash, making sure that she was comfortable and good to go. I was going to offer for her to go first, and she was like, "No, you go first." So I just love working with Ash. Love being a part of this amazing coalition. So what's going on, everybody? I'm Will. It's a pleasure to be here with you all and building such an amazing future together in Web3 and with this incredible DAO that we're all founding together. Just some quick backstory, so you all know a little bit more about myself. I was an A&R and a agent in training at ICM Partners and at Sony. So I come from a traditional music industry background. In 2016 to 2018, I was at A&R and have been in blockchain since about 2013, just trying to educate people to the power that is the blockchain. I started to kind of, segue more so from the traditional entertainment world to social activism and social advocacy, which led me to working for the state of California as a senator's district representative. So I was lobbying bills, trying to convince lobby groups that single-use plastic needed to kind of be out of our oceans. And wasn't really, getting the response that I was hoping for from such a progressive state as California. So I decided to go into entertaining and using my voice. And that's, as you can see, if you're watching Jeremy's screen, that's what led me to becoming a comedic journalist and what I call a vibe curator or a life magician. I just wanted to make people laugh and to kind of see the issues that faced our community and issues that faced our world, while at the same time, encouraging people through laughter. Because I think that these issues that face us are tremendous, but we shouldn't have to do it with a scowl on our face. I think, we we should rejoice in the fact that we are trying to address systemic issues of oppression and harm. And so I do that every day, whether it's on Twitter Spaces. I actually have a community mental health room if anyone wants to join at 1 p.m. Pacific today. So you can meet us on Twitter after this if you want, and just helping to build proof of good with this incredible team. So, I'm proud to be here. That's a little bit of where we were and where we are now. And I consider myself very fortunate to be on this call with you all today. So if anybody wants to, ever DM me, and if you need a laugh, feel free to tune into my YouTube channel. I got a fun video from NFT NYC dropping today. And that's a little bit about me. And like Jeremy said, I'll be part of the community. So you can find me on Discord. You can find me on Twitter. And we're co-founders now, so it's nice to be colleagues with everybody here, and I'm super excited to pass the baton, as it were, to my colleague Ash.
Nice.
You see what I did there?
I'm so impressed. Can you hear me okay? I'm still Discord. Okay, fantastic. Hi, everybody. Hi, Will. Hi, guys. This is Ash Cooper Kearns. I am really excited to be here, and I have to just kind of fangirl on Will Gaines for a second. I am just really excited to be able to join him in supporting Leyline. We have worked on multiple projects together because we both believe and have a huge passion for art, activism, and blockchain. And so I can't think of a better community leader for this space. And I'm hoping I can continue to offer my support here as my other job obligations kind of ramp down. But so I am actually formerly a lawyer. Don't hold it against me. And I entered the NFT community in space actually for my nonprofit, Notes for Notes, as a fundraising space, looking at crypto philanthropy, NFTs for social good, which is how I met Jeremy and was introduced to Leyline actually back in June of last year. And now I am sort of kind of different places doing what I can. Pass the baton. I am part of the core team now. This project is to celebrate and carry on the protest that Tommy Smith, a track and field Olympian, did back in 1968, where he did a silent salute, which was meant for human rights, although it has been misinterpreted and different stories told over this time. So now 50 years later, over 50 years later now, he's been able to speak on this, and I am proud to be part of a project that is now continuing this legacy, passing the baton to future generations for the intergenerational struggle for social justice and human rights. And it also benefits 24 social justice nonprofits. So donations on chain are integrated into the project, and it's fairly complex, but it is the first of its kind, and I'm very proud to be part of it. Notes for Notes, the nonprofit I work with as the Director of Development and Crypto Giving, is a youth music education nonprofit with over 20 pro-level recording studios across the U.S. And we just let youth come in, make the music they want to make, and it's really life-changing for them. So I am here because I believe in this DAO, I believe in Leyline, I believe in the power of Web3 to uplift all of us, not only in the real world, but in the virtual world and everywhere in between. And I am really eager to continue being part of these conversations and seeing the good we can do in the world together. Thank you all.
Lovely. Thank you so much, guys. That was beautiful.
Chills from that.
Yeah, awesome. And continuing the thread, also would love to introduce our key Discord mods and actually soon to be minted or crowned or whatever, knighted POG validators. So that's Leia and Hans. Leia and Hans, would you like to say a few words and say hi to the community?
I think I'll go first.
Okay, thank you, Hans.
I've been with. I actually found about Leyline way back. I think 2 months ago on Twitter. There was like a partnership with Polygon. Then I immediately joined the team. I mean the Discord. Then I DM'd Jeremy about having to volunteer and what can I do to help the community. And after that, everything is history. I just joined, and it seems great to be here. Having like-minded people, doing good things for humanity. So it's an innovation, and I am really proud and honored to be here as well. Nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Hans. We love you, man. So happy to have you here too. And Leah, last but not least.
Hi. Hello, sir, and everyone. First of all, I am Leia from Philippines. Way back also months ago, I am just an ordinary member of Leyline community, but Leyline giving me a lot of opportunities and become part of the team, as well here in the Proof of Good DAO, and I'm so grateful to Leyline and this family, because especially to Sir Jeremy and Chris, because they see the best in me and for giving me so much trust to be part of this amazing project. And this really proves that even wherever you're from and wherever whatever you do, you have a place in this wonderful community. So I will assure you all that I will always be fair and equal and be fully committed in this project. Thank you all.
Thank you both so much. That's so lovely, really heartwarming. And we're very, very lucky to have both of you here. So, and we're just getting started. It's going to be super, super fun. It's going to be crazy, crazy good year, guys. Okay, so yeah, I think next thing we can tackle, since we're already 40 minutes into the hour, we may want to do the Poe app drop now, if that makes the most sense. And Paco, if you don't mind, maybe we should kick that off and put the instructions on our chat. And then I think what we were planning to do was a big shout out to Will. Will had the idea of like, hey, let's bring in some art and music into this thing, because that is also a wonderful good we want to bring into the world and celebrate. And Will invited a good friend, Julio Slim. I believe Julio hopefully is on the voice chat here.
Yeah, he should be here. It's one of those fun things that Ash and I were doing when we worked together, is just highlighting artists. And so I'm really excited that one of the fun things that we'll be seeing in the Dow Hall is some fun artist highlights. Are you here with us, Julio? Can you? Oh.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm definitely here, man. I appreciate the shout out, man. For sure. Shout out to Proof of Good Dow. Shout out to my brother Will. Shout out to Ash and all the great work that they are doing, because it is definitely necessary and needed in the world. I'm humbled and thankful for the opportunity. I saw that she just said like a 10-minute set. I was not even sure it was about to be like a 10-minute joint, but I am definitely humbled. I'm more than ready to drop that for y'all. But I do want to say this though. I'm happy to see what you guys are doing, and I'm happy to be able to assist and like spreading the word about Proof of Good Dow. I'm sorry, and shout out to Will again, man. Constantly linking great people together, helping connect the dots for folks like myself. But
before we get into the music band, I think this is actually a really fun kind of idea that we could do. Is why is Proof of Good Dow? I mean, when you and I talk about it, it's something that energizes us both. Is it like civil service or just civil engagement? What is it about Proof of Good Dow and kind of this social give back that makes you so excited to? Because when I asked, for anybody who's listening, when I asked Julio Slim to do this, it wasn't even 15 seconds. He was like, "Yeah, I'm in. How do I do it?" So if you want to just talk about why it's important to you as well, I think just for other people's edification, just to know you a little bit better. Would you want to speak on that a little bit? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Nah, no problem at all, man. Honestly, things like giving back to people that are underrepresented, that actually need, I guess, help in connecting the dots or bridging the gap, of that nature. Like those things are very near and dear to me, art, because I come from humble beginnings myself, with teenage parents and things of that nature, and not really having the most finances and stuff like that. and it's kind of, I'm still going through certain struggles right now in my life, but truthfully, the fact that I hear you guys are working on raising 100 million, help raise wages for people who aren't getting paid their just dues, and this is not just necessarily in America, but it's an international thing, and you're bringing people from all over the world on board and actually um, doing the work, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of folks talking, some folks aren't able to do exactly what they want to at this particular moment, but for those who are in a position to be able to make some changes and they're actually doing it and putting their their money where their mouth is, so to speak, I always can stand behind projects like that, and that's
Let's
what I
go.
believe Dow is.
Let's go, dude. I love it. I wish we were on Twitter so I could ask people to throw up hundreds. But we'll snap instead. Listen, man, I don't want to hold up too much of your time. We really appreciate you being here. I don't know if you had 1 or 2 songs prepared or what you're feeling, but the stage is yours, man, and I'm really excited for people to hear some of your music. And I think we're getting a live performance here as well. I don't think I do believe it will be live, but it's totally up to you, Julio.
Nah, I'm thinking I'm gonna do live too. Can y'all hear this? I don't think I'm gonna play anything recorded. These are songs that I have, but I'll rap them live in a moment. We're live right now, so I'll rap it live.
Love it. Let's do it.
Appreciate y'all again, man. This song is called Morals and Values. Yo, Slim, and it goes like this. Muscle up, nigga, you can only get what you earn. Growing up, I learned actions speak louder than words. Speaking to police, could you repeat what you heard? Keep it in the that's the way the beef is determined. It's a dirty game. Somebody get the detergent. Good, die young. Some didn't even deserve it. We was just with them. I never funeral service. Smell of smoke in the air once I heard it. I remember late night dice. 20 people deep looking, you can lose your life if you don't got a link, then you need your own stripes. They can't hold water because pressure bugs. Oh shit. Understand, I never fold, do my time in the can. Integrity, gotta maintain, man. Especially when things don't go as they was planned. Real life, it's that line between love and hate. Gotta separate the two and learn people out the gate. Cause fate brings people closer than you ever think. That's why burning bridges lead people down the sink. Uncle outside and he jammed out, looking for a handout. I ain't had no money, so I ran outside, took the man. Only thing I care about is cash flow. Had to ask the most how to stand out. Fast forward, I ain't had to ask for it. Now I got the cash for it. Stop selling drugs, clean my karma up. Same nigga, more conscious, little more popping. Still middle finger to the conqueror. That's
Sheesh.
All right.
That's amazing.
Chill out, my boy.
That's fire. Loved it.
Appreciate it.
Acapella, we couldn't hear the beat, but it was amazing, dude. It was amazing.
And
The lyrical lyricism.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know if it was time for one more. I would do more. If not, it's cool. But you know what I mean. If it is time, I definitely would do another one. Up to the
Listen,
crowd. I don't know if they have time. It's up to them. I don't want to do it right though.
I think
as a Dow voter, I say yes. Another one.
yes. As a Dow voter, I do the same. Let's go. First vote. The first vote is an encore. You gotta love that.
All right, I appreciate it. Say no more. All right, I'm out there. Definitely. Let me
And thank
see
you
if
so much for being here, man. I mean, I highly encourage people to go check out Julio Slim. He's got music up on Web3 platforms like Audius. I know he's got some music on the way as well, but I encouraged him to take his music
100%.
off Web 2.
100%. Yeah, he did. Yo, I took everything down. I think I'm about to drop something on Mint songs.
Jeremy, did you end
Am I
up? Did you mean
good?
to end your
I
stream?
ain't know what happened now.
You might have lost Jeremy.
Damn.
It's all good. He'll be back, but we might as
All
well.
right,
While
in the
this is perfect
meantime-
timing for an encore.
That performance is so good. He crashed my Discord.
Yo, man, I'm bringing that heat through the speakers. Yo, this actually track is unreleased that I did with Mixy Facts. I'm a rapper live. If I can get it. Shit. Step to the challenge, stood the same, still rocking new balance, stuck watching the world, the talent, time flows on balance, Posting fake fame on face cameras. Yahweh looking down the grace at 'em. Legends of the past, fate had them. Tails up in the morning like Kate Adams. Think the self-hate had them. Long as there was money, it didn't matter. Big 40 turning into a phantom. Put the pedal to the metal. I turned it up a notch on every level. I ain't had no opportunity to settle. Plus, change I took was unforgettable. Some of this shit regrettable. The mental strength I showed is incredible. I pray you don't know when God gonna test you. Hoping that he bless you. Life tricking you. Dance with the devil, we get hotter than a kettle on the stovetop. I done been at roadblocks, left me on the corner, so I sold rocks. Baltimore is so familiar. New York and Montpelier. Soft Green Mountain, hell yeah.
What?
Yeah, they still there. Everything is still yeah. I ain't never leave, bro. I'm still here. Juan, I thought you was from DC, Southside. But now you claim it be more looking like you changed sides. Nah, it was strange times. Lack of trust can look me in my eyes. I was seeing love and hate and blurred lines, and this ain't the first time. I seen that shit with blood not work out. And I would never boast on no account. Nah, this is all fact. I felt inside I shouldn't go back. Plus the police rap. Where I was living at, I had to get my mental back. I had murder all on my mental black. I needed the isolation shit. So I switched my residential. The makings of a man is so essential that can make it anywhere. Environmentally.
I wish they could hear the beat so badly.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I love it. Julio, this is amazing. Love what you
Thank God for listening.
Awesome. Really awesome.
You took them down off of YouTube. Are you going to put them back up?
Maybe at some point. I think I'm gonna try to figure out a bit of Web3. Keep working with Will and try to learn this Web3 thing before I go back to Web2 if I do.
Totally. And Julio, I think we can hook you up. We got a lot of connections with other, Web3 ecosystems. One of our partners is Koi.network, and they're basically building a protocol where the more people view, you all earn Koi tokens for that viewership. So I think we can kind of get you featured and spotlighted and all that.
I would appreciate. We cursed here. I'm sorry. Listen, I would appreciate that a lot.
We'll make it happen. And I feel you. You mentioned that you're getting through your own struggles too. That's really the goal. That's the mission. All together, we're going to bring about abundance for everybody, for artists, for musicians, for anyone that's doing good, that's making lives better, that's improving the quality of our lives. We're going to make it happen. So love it. Thank you so much. That was fucking awesome, man.
That first shit was fire as fuck.
Yeah, I appreciate it, yo. I appreciate y'all listening, man. I'm about to tune back into the outfit that y'all was driving, bro. But definitely, Slim, man. I appreciate the time. And just look out for me on that Web3 space, man. Some shit coming soon, for sure.
And listen, we'll figure out the audio at some point so that when we do, down the line, when the DAO is fully operational, and we'll make sure that we have some fully operational audio equipment with you as well. So we can hear the beats as well. Me and you will figure that out.
Now I know exactly what piece I need. It's an iRig, but we'll definitely get all of that one time.
Yeah, thank you so much for that performance, and really, really incredible stuff. And also for anybody that's listening right now, right? If you have artists or friends that you want to highlight, feel free to put them in touch with me. We're going to be trying to make these DAO halls really entertaining and really, highlighting of some amazing activists and artists that we appreciate in the community. So definitely feel free to reach out to me about that. And, we're just building here. So any ideas, creative or entrepreneurial, that you all think would benefit the DAO, we're all ears. We really want to stress the fact that we're all co-owners in this together. Everybody that's on this call is a founder of this DAO. So really excited to have you all here. And again, special shout out to Julio Slim. Definitely make sure if you enjoyed his performance, go let him know on Twitter, Instagram, wherever he's Mobob Slim. You can see it in his Discord. It's Slim Mobob. His Twitter is the opposite.
Yeah, like shit, it's Mobob Slim. Really, if you search Julio Slim, though, it always pop up. If you search Julio Slim, I should pop up wherever you look for that Instagram or the like. And Will, once again, I appreciate the shout out, and to the whole Proof of Good DAO organization. I appreciate y'all too, and to the crowd. Shout out to everybody here that's actually doing it, ready for what's in store for the world when we come up with what we're coming out with. point. So we're overall this. I'll definitely give it back to the host. Right? Let me step up.
Yes, Slim. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I would take Jeremy up on the offer of reaching out to Coin Network. I think they're working with some record studios also on doing Web3 stuff. So.
No, I wrote that down, bro. I'm definitely that. If I can get plugged or not, I'll definitely I'll try to reach out. If not, or if we get the plug to connect me, or however it works out, you know what I mean. That is written in your notes.
All right, fantastic. Okay, cool. Thank you again,
Thanks,
Julio. That was amazing. I think we'd love to keep that going or bring it back on for additional performances. And we'll spice it up too and bring a variety of other artists and musicians. So quick housekeeping. Paco Hans, it looks like Userall and G Money on Fire didn't get their POAPs just yet. So if you can kind of DM them and help them out. But yeah, if anybody needs their POAP, please do message Ham Solo or Paco on Discord.
Yeah.
We want to drop. We got 51 people on right now, so we can drop that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Paco. My bad.
Yeah, actually, we're successfully distributed a bunch of them. So yeah, just DM me and we'll proceed.
Fantastic. All right. So now we're going to get into the meat of our workshop here. So today's DAO proposal, this is kind of our rough draft, is going to be going through onboarding, potentially, Leyline as our first proof of good oracle on protocol. So I'm going to link the actual web page here on a live stream chat. Feel free to pop it open. We're going to walk through this, and really, this is the fundamental premise, is that can we prove out that by doing good deeds and verifying them, that people can start to earn points and get recognition and rewards for the good they do. So that's a lot of what we've actually been building over at leyline.gg. And so what we want to do now is that a lot of this has been kind of our alpha test where, we've been promoting, good deeds, like giving good points for volunteer activities. And there's a multitude of ways that we've been verifying that, and we're trying to refine it down and then port all of this over onto a blockchain. Because right now, this is a lot of the good points are based off of Web 2 technology, so we want to actually migrate that over. So you can look at leyline.gg, sign up and get a preview of how we're kind of envisioning building identities, profiles, leaderboards for people that have been doing their good deeds. So the proposal is to actually migrate Leyline on as the first oracle. So we are a 501c3 California nonprofit. Our mission is to lift over 1 million people out of extreme poverty through their own active altruism. You will earn good points through good deeds and kind words, and you'll use them to actually open up mystery boxes as well as mint NFTs. So we already do have a mystery box and prize pool live where sponsors are donating money, cryptocurrencies, NFTs into our pool, and then you spend good points to actually earn your NFTs. So all of this is actually functional now. There's some work to do to keep on upgrading this. But this is like totally a legit thing that exists today. And here you go. I just minted 3 NFTs for myself right now. So what we want to do is, or what I'm proposing is that there are going to be several ways that you can earn good points through Leyline. And this is going to go right onto the proof of good ledger on a blockchain. So the first category is actually Discord posts. So if you look at the right side of my screen here, by the way, is my screen like too small for everybody? Is this whole split view okay for everybody? I don't know if it's like
on the computer it's decent, but maybe on phone someone might want to. If anybody's having difficulty,
no, for me it's still cool. I'm on the phone.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Also, if you're on the phone and it is too small, for example, if you use both fingers and kind of like pull the screen apart, like have one finger go one way and one go the other, you can zoom in on your phone. Just so if in case anyone didn't know.
Thank you, Will. So one of the categories here is actually on Discord support, so posts. So we actually created a few channels on the Leyline server So I linked that in our live stream chat. You can check out, there's a category for earn, good points, XP, and NFTs. We have good acts, kind words, and polls. So you can see here, we have our community members actually posting evidence of their good deeds. And so we have categories of which ones we actually approve. And it is our Discord moderators or POG validators that are reviewing and approving. So we built a Discord bot. Big shout out to Elijah for hooking that up. It's an amazing engineer and actually an intern and volunteer. So essentially the POG validators emote and they say, okay, yes, this was indeed a good act. We know who this person is part of the community. Was it, an exercise or, physical health activity? Was it a charitable donation? Was it community service? Was it education, tree planting, animal welfare? So each of these categories, if someone actually posts this and it gets approved, you as a poster would earn 100 good points that goes straight to your account. And then there's like photo and video evidence of this actually happening. In conjunction, we also want to make it community supportive. So if somebody actually emotes as well to support it and say, yes, I do verify or confirm that this photo is evidence of, a blood donation or, a training course, then that person also gets good points to kind of function as crowdsourced verification. So that's one way to earn. And yeah, anybody that wants to do it now, feel free. You can actually earn your POG pack by having 1,000 good points on your Leyline account. Second category is actually posting kind words. And the philosophy here is that, man, there's just too much toxic shit all over the place on the internet. It's like the algorithms on social media are actually tuned for toxicity and anger and hate. And what we're trying to do is create a counter mechanism to that of positivity, of kindness, of empathy, of support, of motivation. And I'll be honest with you guys, like I have my down days and my hard times. And I admit that coming here and browsing through the Kind Words channels has actually lifted my spirits in some ways, or even given me a message that I needed for that day. So there's something actually subtle and interesting here as like a social experiment. So anyway, we have, thank you to all the people that are already posting pretty regularly on Kind Words channel. And what we're doing is you're earning 5 good points for spreading that positivity and love. 10 good points for posting on Kind Words. And then if you also verify and support that, then you'll get 1 good point as a community member. So that's just kind of a very basic way to generate at least like small doses or small amounts of good points. And, the philosophy here is that any little tiny action is still a good thing. And these things accumulate and they spread and they become viral and they just reshape our attitudes and our mindsets and our viewpoints and really want to orient that and reward the positivity. So that's kind of the first theory when it comes to rewarding on Discord points validated by Leyline. The second, so actually, I'll pause before I move on to the next category. Any questions or feedback here on this one? I'm going to check our live stream chat in case there's any comments or. Okay, no, thanks.
Oh, just from my side, I think. Thanks, Jeremy, for walking us through that first and foremost. And I think it's a really good starting point, right, to get things rolling, especially the good acts. I do believe there's room to iterate on that, right? Because sometimes for me, the kind words also, because you get like a point for clicking a button, can also just feel like a chore, and you don't even read through that, and you just like give thumbs up to get very small amounts of good points, right? So just to highlight that this is also possible, because I think as we build this, we always need to keep in mind how easy is it to exploit this, right? Like, because there will always be min-maxers or people that have mischief in their heart as well. So I think it's a great example that for that how that can happen, like in Discord, for example, as well. And we should keep this basic example in mind as we build other systems out for the future. Just as my 2 cents on the topic.
Absolutely, that's great input, and it is an element that we have to be always vigilant about. Is that there, unfortunately, when it comes to economics and reward systems, there will be people that game the system. Like this is just an absolute fact. It's human nature. So part of the responsibility of both the POG validators and the DAO is that we're going to constantly evaluate and understand, hey, we're finding a vulnerability or there's something that just doesn't really fit well or it's being exploited. We'll introduce a proposal to say, hey, we need to either adjust this category or implement this feature or this gate to kind of prevent this abuse. So it's very much going to be an iterative, adaptive process, and then a DAO is going to really dictate how we learn and adjust from that. And a large mechanism will be through our proposals. So yeah, thank you for that. Okay, so second category here is you can volunteer at Leyline. So because Leyline is a 501c3 nonprofit with its charitable mission, we actually have a network of over 70 volunteers already participating on a project. So we are keeping track of these logs here. And basically, we try to simplify the rewards where if you're putting in about less than or equal to 10 hours per week, we'll grant you 1,000 good points per week. If it's over that, we'll do 2,000. We debated whether we're going to do it on an hourly basis, but we tried to go for a little bit of a simpler format than having people have to log specific hours and minutes to calculate that. But that's one other opportunity to earn good points, just be a part of building this whole platform. We've also run some educational workshops, and Bene, who just spoke, has actually done a number of these coaching and personal leadership workshops and courses. And so we consider education a key category of good that's really important for society. So that should also earn good points. Oh shoot, I didn't actually put the good points amount here. Open to suggestions here, by the way. And I did miss this, apologies guys. What I've actually written down here is the category that would be written on a proof of good ledger and also the corresponding UN Sustainable Development Goals. So if you click through on this website, you'll see what I mean by the SDGs. It's kind of a common benchmark for many nonprofits. They've kind of stated, here's like key objectives we have to really make life and the world and the planet livable and sustainable. So we're mapping all of the good deeds that we track to these specific SDGs. Okay, fourth category is you can donate to the prize pool and the mystery box. So let's say that you have some spare NFTs or extra money, you've like made a bunch of money on crypto. The whole idea is like, how do we create more abundant distribution to people all over the world, and especially to the people that are in dire need of an income? I think there's a mechanism here where you can donate to the prize pool, and the good points earned would be basically 10 good points per $1 value of whatever it is you donated. So that could be another way to basically create a pool that people can actually retrieve out of the mystery box for their good deeds and really kind of prove out that, let's say we have our communities in Haiti, South Africa, Botswana, Indonesia, Philippines, by opening a mystery box and getting like a $20 gift card in cryptocurrency, that could be life-changing amounts of money for people in really struggling communities. So that's just yet another category. And then there is a fifth one, which is we actually just do manual verifications. Like people actually submit receipts or evidence in a Google form, and our moderators, our POG validators, are basically manually reviewing it, reaching out to the individuals to verify that this actually happened, and then awarding the good points. So yeah, that's the proposal, is that one of our first oracles on a protocol could be Leyline. So let me see here if there's any additional rules to go over. So yeah, one recommendation is that we also want to make sure that we can kind of trust the POG validators who are also clicking and approving these things. So I think we want to aim for at least 2 validators to approve a post or a submission before the good points are awarded. So at least that way there's a bit more consensus. On average, we could cap this to 1,000 good points per week. So that way we're not seeing too much abuse in the system and can kind of monitor that. We could increase this maximum through proposals on a DAO. Then the forms of manual verification, so far the categories are send a receipt or certificate from the NGO or an official letter from the organization. And then there is an exception because we are going to be onboarding organizations directly. So if a manual submission is from an Oracle that's already on a protocol, we'd have to say, sorry, you can't do this through Leyline. You have to do it through the actual charity itself. Like, for example, Red Cross is one that we accept receipts for and give good points. But if at some point in the future we onboard Red Cross as an Oracle, Leyline would not be able to basically double count. So that's the reason for this ruling. Okay, so that's the proposal. And this is kind of what the format's going to look like as we continue to submit more and more oracles onto the protocol. Each of them would be verifying these good deeds and rewarding the good points. So I would love to hear your feedback on this one. So we're going to shift our focus back to the Miro board. So I see that we've lost a lot of people. We only have like 9 people on the Miro board. I'm going to repost a link here on a live stream chat. I
think people dropped to just free up some CPU.
Yeah, okay, no problem at all. We're gonna actually put this to a vote and also collect some feedback. But Bene, I do see your question here. Is it working as intended that we don't have Boink in there? Yes. Mainly because I intend to put a proposal in directly for Boink to be onboarded onto the POG protocol. So it wouldn't be a pass-through through Leyline. It would be specifically Boink is this social impact project that probably deserves to earn good points directly, if that makes sense. Yeah. And for those that are not familiar with Boink, it's a Berkeley open infrastructure for network computing, and it's basically donate your computer power towards scientific research. Climate change research, cancer research, COVID research, a whole bunch of amazing things. And so it's one of our first partners that we had with Leyline. Okay, so coming to the Miro board, if you guys can jump back in, we're in section 3 now. So would love to hear if there's any ways that we can improve the proposal that we just walked through. Or if there's things we can improve in the NFT structures that I walked through at the early intro. Feel free to copy and paste any post-it note here. You just hit the select tool, choose any color you'd like, copy, and then paste. One thing you can do as well is if you could tag yourself in that post-it so we know who created it. The way you do that is you highlight the post-it or just click on it. There's this little tag icon over there. It says add tag. Do that and then plug in your name if you'd like to kind of signal this came from you. So we'll take a couple minutes here, and if anybody would like to throw in some feedback, that would be wonderful. And then if you don't have any feedback, you can skip to section 4, which is actually casting your vote. So it's basically a yes or no. You can copy a check mark here and paste it, and then just go ahead and plug it in right underneath the yes column to cast your vote. All right, overwhelming yeses so far, which is good news. Fantastic. And all right, maybe we can get started with some feedback if you guys want to unmute. I think this might be Lucas's, if I saw that correctly. Lucas, would you like to chat about some of your feedback suggestions?
Able to speak, Jeremy.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so what was your question? I was just in conversation with a friend who I brought in to the DAO as well. Renzo is with me.
Hey guys, thank you.
Hey Renzo, welcome. Yeah. I mean, if you threw a post-it in, we'd just love to hear your thoughts and suggestions and ideas.
I can quickly introduce myself as well. So I just started volunteering, and my background is in positive psychology. So it's all about making organizations and individuals flourish. And I know about the research, and like gratitude is pretty much like the biggest impact on people's lives to be a happier person. Focus on that what you have and not that what you don't have. You can imagine having kind of a gratitude channel where you can cross-reference to people and just shout out and say thank you to others, and just like share what you're grateful for, and so that we as a community put ourselves into that kind of mindset might be a very nice thing to do. Maybe next to the quote channel.
I love that. Really love that. And it's great that it's coming from someone that specializes in positive psychology and not just a random dude like me. So thank you. All right, cool. Lovely. Thank you for that. All right. Okay, but yeah, Jeff, would you like to share some of the posts you got here?
Can you hear me?
Yep, coming through now.
Okay, great. So this first one, early good spots for NFT projects co-marketing and vice versa. Maybe this is not so specific to Leyline and being first Oracle. This may be for other projects. But I just want to make sure that we're in the business of developing reciprocity and thinking about long-term. But again, probably out of scope for this proposal. So that brings me to the second point. Should proposals identify the expectations of the Oracle more explicitly, whether that's with, in the case of universities or Boink, distribution to their university-wide newsletter or some sort of co-marketing opportunity, and in what they also expect from us, or do the proposals are they okay being a little bit more vague? And my third question is kind of related to the second. If they should be more explicit, should the proposals include the formal paperwork like memorandum of understandings or formal partnership or agreements in them, or is that relegated to the specialists' role within the DAO? So the CFO or head of finance, so to speak.
Yeah, these are those two questions are really good points. I think my answer to this first one, which is the expectations, I think what's going to happen is we'll actually submit the proposal, and then depending on how the DAO votes, that's going to give us the feedback on, hey, there's just not enough information here. Like this is just not as clear or not like as fleshed out as it needs to be. And I think that's the opportunity. What we're going to do is actually launch a discourse tool, which is basically a forum mechanism where people can post up the proposal and then people can write messages and provide feedback preliminary to the actual voting. So I think this will evolve over time. And then I think we'll learn from the kind of feedback that we get from the DAO and then build it into the templates for the proposal submissions, particularly for oracles.
Awesome.
And then related, this is a great point where I think there is some additional due diligence we have to do. So, for example, if someone is claiming they're a 501c3, we should be able to reach out and say, hey, let's do the research and make sure that, yes, you are legitimately a 501c3. We see your public paperwork, we see your tax, registration, etc. And I think this may be a responsibility we can give to the POG validators or volunteers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this, Jeff, this might be a really good one to bring back to the core team and then start to build those specs. And I think it'll just go into the white paper.
Great. Okay, cool. Thanks. That's all I have.
All right, cool. We got base point cap on data and research rather than to pick a random number. Yeah, this is a good call. Anybody want to speak to this submission here?
Being shy, I'm just trying to manage a bunch of tabs as I'm getting back to people. Yeah, I just our existing structure already gives out, say, 2,000 points a week for people that are kind of hardcore volunteers in the team, and that doesn't even account for all the extra stuff they do on top of that, like Boink. So just think it would be nice to address that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know what? If I were to skip ahead, that is an area where we could totally use some help from volunteers. So I think the economics, tokenomics, gamification research piece of this can actually help. And we do have Sai, I believe he's here. who is a specialist on this. I know this is something he's actually already kind of working on. Sai, want to share some input?
Yeah, I just, I knew Chris, raised that point and I just voted that point up. So Chris, it's on the mind. It's going on. So totally, completely agree with you. How do I answer this? So it operates in a system. So one factor is dependent on something else. So if you're looking at how many good points to award, that's dependent on the number of good activities and the list and the categories. So it's a heavy thing, requires some time. So it's going on, and your thought is right in that way. So just want to note you on that. Thanks.
Yeah, and I think part of the ongoing process is to constantly take a look at the data that's coming in, the real world usage, and reevaluate whether the point allocations, the daily caps, the consumption actually balances out and sustainable. So it is crucial we have folks that are specialized in economics, data science, gamification to really continue to tune these numbers. And we would tune the numbers through a Dow proposal. We basically submit the proposal and we say, hey, here's my research and findings, here's my spreadsheets, here's my math. We should probably, adjust this threshold down or up because here's the results we're seeing in the real world. Right now, everything is theoretical, and we're going to need to actually see the real world usage to make the right judgment call. Which is another good point. And there's another submission here around 1 USD, 10 good points seems like a lot, and it could potentially, make every other good act feel like nothing in comparison because you can get just like tons of good points, or it could kind of disproportionately reward the rich. Anybody want to add some more commentary there? This is an excellent call out as well. One potential resolution is putting a cap on the number of good points you can get just directly from straight up cash and money. So that way we can actually have a balance here. But did anybody specifically plug this in and want to share some thoughts?
Yeah, I could talk about it. I kind of wrote that because the way I just thought about it is like, say I collect my good points for like 6-7 months, and then somebody just comes in a matter of minutes and just bam, that has way more good points than me. I would be kind of bummed out,
Yeah, 100%. And, we went through this kind of discussion at one of our engineering talks, and it's why we wanted to make sure that there's clear categories as well. So donations would fall under like an economic category versus health or mental health or animal welfare or, governance and education. So I think what we would do is want to surface those categories too, and probably have some separations between the different good points, because it's true. I think one category could potentially disproportionately reward or kind of signal that, hey, it's just like someone just dumped a bunch of money here and didn't exactly do something physical. And the other balancing act is that, one, donations do actually have a big impact, particularly if it's going to the right charities and how it's utilized. So there's some work to do here, I think, for sure.
We balance that by blending rewards, right? It doesn't have to be all good points. There can be other incentives that we add into the mix for large donations.
Yep, absolutely. This is excellent feedback, guys. We're gonna bring this back with the core team and work on like the design and caps. I think Sai is gonna be a very key person to help us out with this. But if anybody would like to join that pod to kind of work and brainstorm the right solutions, we are totally looking for volunteers and support. Anybody who wants to participate, love to have you join in. We've got another one that popped in. Or we'd have to give cash tokens for the DAO members. Is there some sort of law regulations to comply? Yes, the answer is yes. We can drop tokens to DAO members. This is something that has some unclear regulations depending on which country you're dealing with. But that is an area that we are, we have legal advisors that are part of the organization that we're going to continue to navigate. And so there's some work to do here on our side to figure out what the compliance is. At the moment, there isn't any hard restrictions on that. It's mostly about tax liability more than anything else. So as a recipient of cash or tokens coming from the DAO or for NFT drops or any kind of crypto gains, it's really about you have the obligation to report that revenue gain personally in your income taxes. And then we as an organization are required to report that depending on which country we're operating out of. So yeah, it's a very deep, complex topic. But yeah, if you need any help, you could definitely post in, say, like our passive income channel, for example, if you have questions or need some help or assistance or guidance, and we'll try to help out however we can there. But yeah, for now, it is legitimate, totally okay for us to be doing drops and whatnot. Many projects are doing this and currently no issues. Okay, we're gonna move on because I'm trying to keep us to 90 minutes so we don't burn out every session. We can keep going if you guys want for Q&A and whatnot too. All right, cool. But yeah, it looks like we've got an overwhelming yes so far for Leia and Oracle. It's a great practice run. So yeah, it now begs the question: do we have this entire history of good points earned on Leyline currently? Do we want to carry those over one-to-one onto the proof of good protocol on chain? And it looks like yes. And great, thank you for the questions, guys. Benny, if you want to speak to some of your questions and thoughts here.
So for me, the question is, I think like carrying it over is good, but we need to look at if we want to carry over the total earned or the current ones, because with the mystery box, currently we can exchange good points for NFTs, right? And let's say in a scenario where Leyline NFTs have no value, then we would need to, or like diminished value or some other than direct impact, then we need to make sure that people that invested good points into Leyline NFTs don't draw the short stick, right? And like, oh, I shouldn't have engaged with this functionality because now I have less good points, right? So that's where that question is coming from. So if it's lifetime earned or current total would be, so the question on my mind.
If I can just add briefly, Leyline is going to be one oracle among many, but allowing lifetime good points to carry over might be a nice one-time nod to the community that helped Proof of Good come into existence, because certainly wouldn't be there without Leyline.
Yeah, I completely agreed. And this is probably like an in-depth working session as well to dive into, because there could be a couple ways to approach this. Great call. So yeah, another action for core team to tackle. And again, we'd love to have anybody if you're interested in participating.
Just really quickly, I think that's an excellent point, Bene, right? And it's not an uncommon thing. I think Kevin Abosh, regularly with his previous projects for the holders, so to speak, comes out with a follow-up, whether that's airdropped edition of his new artist NFT work or whatever that is. And I don't think that we've hit critical mass probably with Leyline to the extent that the company would eat a lot of the points, especially since the points haven't been monetized on a secondary market through direct sale yet. This would be a really nice hat tip. I just don't know, finance is not my desk, but this regularly happens within the NFT communities and will be a nice hat tip.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, just
yeah,
thanks for the input. I think in the end, like for the core team, and we should then think on that later. Like we can't make like a decision in isolation for good points and the NFTs, right? Like they are connected through the mystery box. So whatever we decide, either they both need to have value or neither has value, or we go with lifetime, right? That investment that people chose have an impact, right? I think, and as Chris said, would be a good nod without the Leyline community, there wouldn't be a proof of good DAO. So to give a nod to those people that helped, but then also not disencouraging, what's the word? People that come later to the party and say like, oh, I'll never be able to catch up, right? So maybe it's not one-to-one, or maybe they're like legacy points or whatever that you cannot earn anymore, but that will be a more in-depth discussion, right? Because whatever we design, we need to envision to be a user of that system from all backgrounds, right? New user, NFT user, or Leyline point hodler or good point hodler. And to all, it needs to feel
Hodler.
kinda acceptable, right?
Right. I feel you, but I don't.
100%. Yeah, so what I did is I plugged it in as a post-it here for potential, for core team to tackle, but also potential volunteer opportunity if you guys have ideas there. All right. Okay, last one here. So this is another question. Should Leyline NFTs work as basic membership NFTs on the Proof of Good protocol, where, you know, kind of how I outlined it in that earlier document, you'd have a vote in a DAO for owning one of the Leyline packs. So we're already dropping a bunch of Leyline NFTs to the mystery box. So this guy, since we're in Oracle, probably makes sense where, okay, all Leyline community members now can actually participate in the Proof of Good DAO. So yeah, looks like there's general consensus there too. Fantastic. All right, so this was basically our practice run on what a DAO proposal could look like, how we can discuss it, how we want to refine the details. What we want to do is when we launch the DAO protocol and a tooling later this month, we're going to do this officially on chain. So anyway, thank you everybody for participating. This is very helpful. We are, I do want to kind of move forward through time so that way we don't drag on the meeting too long. On general, I'm going to try to shoot for 90 minutes. This might stretch to like 2 hours sometimes. You guys let me know if this is too much, but looks like we still got a lot of folks sticking around, which is awesome. But yeah, happy to get feedback here. So again, really honing in on the fact that we are a community at DAO, we're all contributing here, and we have volunteer opportunities through which you can earn good points, NFTs, and POG tokens. I've listed out a number of areas where we could use some help. There's just tons of things that we could do in terms of building, contributing all together, and kind of driving value for the NFT collectibles that we have, as well as getting the token drops. So I've categorized them into different areas. There is the community and marketing. So certainly it's about, can anybody help with spreading the word and letting people know that, hey, this thing is live, it's happening, we're bringing in as many folks as possible. We've got our Genesis drop lined up. Anyone that can help on that front be awesome. There's work to do to get the job descriptions in place for the POG validators and make that official. I know Jeff is already working on that. We could certainly use some help with content posting onto social media. We do have a Twitter, YouTube, Mirror channel, but if anyone's got expertise there and happy to contribute, we'd love some folks to help out. And then we're also looking for more POG validators and Discord mods. Let's see what else. There's a lot here, and what I suggest is, if you guys want to kind of take a look at some of the areas that we do need help, if you have the bandwidth, the skill set, the interest, love to have you be a part of this thing. If you'd like to contribute in any way, even if there's something that's not on this list, please do reach out. You can go ahead and plug in a post-it here. You can also post on our talent recruitment chat on Discord. You can email us or message us or DM us any way you want to reach out. We're happy to help. And I believe that Lucas is working with Bene here to help with like the general onboarding process and how we can kind of stay organized with just a lot of people kind of flowing in and pitching in and helping out. So Lucas or Benny, is there anything you want to kind of note along those lines for potential volunteers or contributors?
I just wanted to say, for this section in particular, could you, Jeremy, just show us really quick how to tag your name on I Can Help?
Yeah, sure. yeah, so the way you tag yourself on Miro is when you click on a post-it, you'll see this menu appear above. There's a tag symbol there, and you just hit add tag, and then just type in your name, and then hit enter, and then it'll tag you. So if you've already done that, you just click on your name, and then boom. But yeah, this is great. Yeah, so if you did, so awesome if there's a marketer in-house or Discord community. Yeah, thank you for putting a post-it. And then let's chat on talent recruitment on Discord over here. And Bene, Paco, or Lucas can reach out, and we can start to get you onboarded and spun up, and is awesome. But yeah, if anyone wants to unmute and kind of talk about how you'd like to pitch in and help, or if you got ideas, would love to hear you speak.
Hey Jeremy, it's Andrew. Just one piece on the post-it notes, just trying to reduce barriers. Is there a way we could put somebody's name on each of these category post-it notes so people know who to reach out to if they want to go that path?
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, I think we can definitely add that in. It is going to be a kind of a general communication in a talent recruitment channel. But yeah, I think this is stuff that we can start to structure as we continue to grow and organize. But thanks for that suggestion, Andrew. This is awesome.
Yes, Jeremy. Hey. Yes, I'm here.
Hey,
how
welcome.
are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, thank you so much for connecting on LinkedIn and reaching out. And yeah, I would love to kind of hear your thoughts or ideas, and we could certainly take it offline. But yeah, super excited about what you're doing and the ability to kind of tap into Latin America and Brazil.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I would love to help POG and to bring partnerships. I am a business developer. I believe I can help to spread the message here in the country and maybe bring some strategic partnerships that could help scale the mission. So pleasure to help.
I love it. Thank you so much. So yeah, excited to chat with you in more detail. I think is it later today or is it tomorrow? But
great,
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I think it's after this.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Okay, cool. But yeah, so feel free to add things in, guys, over time and let people know. Gonna move ahead very quickly to just a very quick retrospective and final feedback or Q&A. So if there's anything you wanted to share about what you liked about this session, what we could do better or differently, happy to hear that. All right, so transparent exchange. Votes are in. Awesome energy. Yes, thank you. All right, cool. Yeah, I love the artist highlight. Julio, fucking awesome, man. Love what you did there. I think we're totally gonna keep that going. Interactive and inspiring. Hearing from POG team members. All right. Energy, transparency. Love other people's involvement. Music break. All right, 2 for the music break. Nice. Lovely.
It warms my heart, y'all. Thank you. I did not pay them for that.
I was getting ready to say, yo, appreciate the love on that, yo. I want to say this too. I ain't mean to cut you off too, well, but Jeremy, yo, what y'all are doing is definitely dope. I'm not sure if y'all are even into like merchandising or having like clothing or anything, but I'm partnered with a manufacturing company. We would speak off app if y'all had any I guess aspirations to jump out there and I guess put things on clothes or jackets or garments of any sorts. I could definitely help with that if that's even the direction you guys were headed in.
Oh yeah, actually, it has been things that we've like talked about and worked on a little bit with Leyline for merchandising. Most of it just comes down to allocating the marketing budget for it. I think we'll probably be in good position for that, maybe late February or March. And that's something that actually Jamie has been working on a bit too. So we could probably connect you guys at the right time. But awesome. Yeah, love it. Thank you, Julio.
Nah, no doubt. No problem at all. And there's definitely no rush. Whenever you guys just let me know. We can go from there. But Will, I ain't mean it. Would you about to say something? No, Will, I ain't. Whoa.
No, not at all, man. Look, at the end of the day, this is we are all founders in this. So if anyone ever wants to speak, I'll fall back. I just wanted to thank everybody for taking the time and for being here and for rallying around a great cause and seeing the value that this could create in the world. So I just wanted to say a special shout out to everybody that's still in it. We're pushing an hour and a half now, hour 45. So I'm loving the commitment and love seeing everybody in Miro contributing as well. This is what it's all about. And the more that we do this, and the more people feel like they can contribute and feel a part of this, the greater it's going to be. So I just wanted to say for everybody who's doing this, these exercises you're building something massive. So just by doing these little, you might not know it when you're posting these little remarks, but just know it has a great impact as a whole. So really just excited, just a constant source of gratitude. I'm going to be consistently thanking you all. And I mean it when I say it.
Thanks, Will. All right. Okay, so to wrap up, definitely clear feedback here. We're going to want to time box ourselves and keep things focused. And it seems like 90 minutes is what we're going to set up for our maximum to keep things flowing, engaged, and just respect people's limited time per day. So thank you all for that info or that input. And I think, that's a great idea. Even breaking them up into shorter meetings, totally doable. There could be potentially higher frequency, shorter meetings as one pathway. We could discuss how we can work that schedule. Promotion, 100%. Yeah, I think, we didn't go super aggressive on promotions because we're still really trying to build this foundation and a framework and kind of, run through a few exercises and work out whatever early kinks. But totally, I think we're in a moment now where it makes sense for us to start to get more active on external promotions and letting people know this exists. And I think that the goal, at least short-term goals, are as we get the NFT drop in place, we're going to want to fill up that good list and get all 500 out there and really build out that core co-owner community. I think that's first priority. And then we're going to start to expand more into broader audiences and then onboard oracles. So that's really kind of the theme for this month as we spin up all of our development and community resources. Okay, understand the gap between Discord participants and Miro. And we want some thoughts on this post-it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't put my name. I've just put that because we had a lot of people on Discord at the beginning of the session, but not so many engaged with Miro. So I'm just wondering if it's a problem with, as we say, maybe device, people on mobile, or just wondering if there is anything we can do to make people more engaged to that session. It's just an open question. Don't really know.
I would say for the phone users, I would definitely let them know, just so you know while we're all here. Computer, if you have access to one, is going to be a lot easier to interact with it. Me personally, when I tried to do it on my phone last week, my phone overheated and I could barely even be on Discord because it was just too tasking on the device. So if you're experiencing a similar problem on your phone, switching to computer for our next DAO Hall will help you a lot. But I understand people are on the move. They might not have access to a computer. So maybe what we could do, a suggestion is, if you can't access the Miro, but you want to take part in the exercise, that you could put in the live stream channel when we're going through these different, community engagement things. Maybe they could put a sticky note, this is my addition to, this task. And it's just an idea that they could do, but and just let us know if you're struggling, if you want to take part in Miro, but you're having problems on your device. Just tell us in the live stream, hey, my phone's bugging, and we'll figure out a way to work you in as well for future DAO Halls.
Yeah, thank you. Great call. Okay, and just to wrap up, thanks for the additional ads, guys. So brand partnerships, incentivized giveaways, online onboarding meet parties and charities. Man, there's amazing ideas here. Really love this. Whoever submitted that, love to kind of take that discussion beyond the meeting and see how we can kind of activate on all those. I think there's, all right, John Paul. Woo, thank you. Love it. Anything you want to highlight specifically, John Paul, if you want to take the stage for a minute?
How's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, coming through.
Cool. It was just, to be honest, they were just off the top of my head things I was reading through as far as ways of engagement and some ideas really that we can talk later about more expanding on them, but yeah, they were just some initial thoughts.
Yeah, I love it. And I think we've got a few of these like a bit in the pipeline. But yeah, I think it's now taking them to action is going to be the key. So would love to work with you on that and kind of plug you into the rest of the
Sure
team.
how far down the road you were with all of those things. That's why they could be up in arms as to what you've already got in place and stuff like that. So
Right on. All right, cool. All right, yeah, this is a good feedback point too. Front-loaded meeting with critical info. Totally have to respect that, especially just during the day that not everybody can make the entire time. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that even more so with the agendas and the Notion pages. But yeah, anything else potentially here that you might want to add that might have been missing from the agenda? I'm not sure who created this post-it.
That was me. I just so we have a dual struggle with packing a lot of information in a little bit of time. But then also when it comes to the voting, a lot of these people that were with us at the beginning and may add some valuable contributions have already dropped. So we gotta kind of figure out how to balance both those things on top of bringing people back into sync who may be here every other week because of time zone issues. So it's going to be a challenge.
I think that's an interesting point. And while we're talking about maybe splitting the meetings into separate ones also, or having meetings at separate time zones, alternating weeks, there might be an opportunity for us each week to do a recap 12 hours ahead for the people behind. I'm not sure if that'd be an effective use of people's time, but at least have the community in a live stream with somebody from the core team who would be able to ask questions and recap the meeting that happened 12 hours prior. We could address that, through newsletters or other means also, but really to get active feedback and maybe to leave the voting open, a little bit longer until we get on our feet. But yeah, your point's well taken. I think there's some workarounds we can take to the core team.
No question. And if anybody ever thinks of anything, let's say that after we close out this DAO Hall, you're like, oh, I have a great idea for the DAO. Like, feel free to post those, whether it's in the Gen chat. You could post it in the traditional chat that we have on the Discord in the general chatting section. Feel free to post any ideas that you have that you want to integrate. You don't feel like you have to wait until the DAO Hall. If the moment strikes and ingenuity has its moment, we are looking for any and all ideas, and we're a team of founders here. So just feel incentive in your own day-to-day life. If you're walk into the bank and you're like, oh shit, I have the best idea for POG DAO, just hit us up, and also feel free to stop in the chat and just vibe with each other. We're a family here as well as a business, so feel free to come say what's up and vibe out with us on Twitter as well. We're going to be all over the metaverse and all over the different Web2 verses as well.
Totally agree. And one thing as well to note is that as we evolve, a lot of the voting is actually going to move on chain. So we're going to be using our DAO tooling and discourse for a lot of this to happen asynchronously. So you don't have to necessarily attend a DAO Hall to be able to participate. So I think the weighting here, this is a bit more like sentiment analysis more than making the official approval. The official changes and ratification will happen through the DAO tools. So that hopefully will eliminate some of the concern about Miro being a bit of a gate, which I totally recognize. Okay, last but not least, Hans. Yes, thank you for this feedback here if you want to speak to it. But yeah, growing a Discord is big. And yes, there's always tons of bad guys in this space, bots and scammers. So security is a big focus for us too. We have our resident security expert, Chris Pariso, also here providing guidance, insight, helping to keep us safe. We've got a number of actually alumni, even from Blizzard Entertainment, that are experts in security too. So we're going to pay close attention to this. But yeah, thank you, Hans, for that submission. All right, everybody. So we are at 10:50 p.m. PST, and once again, I wanted to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this thing. Also for just sticking through a pretty long working session. I hope you all got some cool, insights and knowledge out of this, and hope you enjoyed Julio's amazing musical performance. And looks like we are going to be moving forward with Leyline as our first POG Oracle. We're going to work on specs and addressing some of the feedback points. And as we launch the protocol later next month, this will be a way to earn your good points and start to get paid for doing good. That's the whole premise of why we're here. So once again, thank you all. Have an amazing day, amazing week. I love you all. Super grateful. Let's go do this thing. And I'll catch y'all later.